Coming to you from the Fox Sports 1270 studio in downtown Palm Springs, this is the Coachella Valley Sports Report with your host, Coach B.
This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. And we are, as always, we are broadcasting on Fox Sports 1270 AM. You can hear us on the internet, on the iHeartRadio app. Just search Coachella Valley Sports Report. And if you're up Friday mornings, make sure you check us out on Fox 11 TV. Like I always say, this is an absolute face. My mic's a little hot. Let me bring that down a little bit. You know, I get a little excited. But like I always say, this is a face for radio, and they allow me to be on TV. So I want to say thank you to our audience joining us on Fox 11 TV. And one thing that I notice is they really must like me because we had some of the Palm Springs Power in last week. And again, our guy Stephen Buxton came through again and brought in some more Palm Springs Power. You know, one thing, we'll jump right into it because as always, we have a jam-packed show. And I want to ask my guy Stephen, you know, one thing I didn't ask you is last week, we did the All-Star Game, the second annual Coachella Valley Baseball All-Star Game at the Palm Springs Stadium. And we are so fortunate because owner of the Power, Andrew Starkey, has pretty much made that game a possibility. He's allowed us to use the field. What were your thoughts about that game? Good high school baseball. You're a former high school athlete. What's your perspective on that game, Stephen?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, at first, you know, you saw it. For the first couple innings, it looked like it was going to be a rout, but it was a better turnout than last year, too, which obviously, you know, you're going into the next year of it. It's just nice to see how that event has developed and how it's just slowly growing, you know, getting more and more buy-in from whether it's the parents, the families, the schools, all that stuff. But again, then the game just flipped on its head in like the sixth inning. And I mean, you see pretty much anything happen. And at some point, you can see a team not just throw away a game, but, you know, just turn it upside down in a second. And it's always a fun event. It's really cool to, you know, just see the guys, even when some of them might not play baseball again, just get another chance at it. And yeah, you mentioned that Starkey allows this event to, I mean, not allows it, but like helps this event to happen. And it's always cool to see when something for the community, especially when they wrap their arms around it like they usually do, is going so well.
Absolutely, and you had it right. Starkey allows it because without him, we wouldn't have a professional stadium to use. The stadium was built by the California Angels when they were out here, when Gene Autry was out here, when he built that stadium. So we appreciate Starkey allowing us to do it. And that's our guy, as we said, Stephen Buxton. He is the voice of the Palm Springs Power. And then also when you hear the Fox Sports 1270 AM Game of the Week, we're already getting our schedules together. He is the voice of that as well. So he is a gentleman that you hear his voice all over the place. He was here last week, and we appreciate it. And now today, Stephen facilitated it and brought in some of his young men. And I'll have our introduce yourself. I know the names, but I'll go ahead and introduce yourself to the Fox Sports Radio audience.
I'm Brett Williams. I go to St. Mary's College, and I'm going to my senior year there.
Excellent. And, you know, St. Mary's, you guys have a great rivalry with Gonzaga, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, basketball, that's always been a huge rivalry. It really goes for all sports, but they're actually, this past year, I'm pretty sure it was their last year in our conference. They're going to the Big 12, I believe, next year. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get some non-conference play against them because that's a great rivalry. But, yeah, it's kind of like a new chapter for our conference now.
And it's so much realignment because I went to Grand Canyon, and Grand Canyon left the WAC to go into the Pac. No, not the Mountain West. The Mountain West is where we went, and it's one of those things. I know when we played in the NCAA, we played against St. Mary. So I mean, St. Mary's a great program, great school, great program, and you know I know you guys will do some great things over there. But one of the things I like about your bio, I mean, you are in the perfect place to be. You like to play golf. I mean, is that why you joined the Power? Because you want to come out here and see these great golf courses?
Yeah, well, I mean, my coaches, they usually facilitate all the summer ball assignments for all my teammates, but they sent me out here, and I'm from Carlsbad, so not too far away, and it's a great golf spot. So I was like, let's go, let's do it. I was hyped to come out here.
Yeah, you're from Paradise. You're from the San Diego area. I mean, the heat is it hits a little bit different out here, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's especially before that sun sets, before game time. really hot.
Yes, we always talk about this. The summer hasn't hit. And one of the gentlemen, and what was his name? Is from Mississippi that was here last week.
Amari Conley.
Yeah, he said that he said it's hotter in Mississippi than it is out here. I said not yet. I just wait till that summer hits, and he's judging it as of now because Stephen and I had a good laugh last week. There was a game, it was 124 degrees. They played it 2 years ago. They played the game. That's hot.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me back in high school, we played tournaments out in Arizona during the summer, and I remember one game we had like a doubleheader I was catching. It was like 115 out, like right in the middle of the day. That was just brutal.
And for them, they just call that Tuesday. It's
exactly.
normal. It is normal. But one thing I like about you, and you want to make sure that you point out, you're on the all academic team. Talk about that when you think about your academics. Why is that so important to you?
Yeah, I mean, academics has always been big for me, and St. Mary's going to a private school. They really prioritize their academics, going to class and everything, and it's definitely tough balancing both. Like in season, we're on the road a lot in my academics, but I try to balance them out well, and that's just one thing I prioritize. So it was cool to get that nod for the all-academic team.
Yeah, and that's tough because you think about it, you're playing at a high level at a great school, and then to still hold down those academics. I tip my cap to you because I think, all 4 years, I had a 4.0 if you added all 4 years of high school up. So that's where I would get to, but that was just me. And then we have a running rebel here. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the Fox Sports Radio audience, young man.
My name's Caden Richards. I'm a redshirt junior at UNLV. Excited to be here.
There you go, running Rebels. And, for the first time when talking about my GCU again, I went to your stadium, basketball gym. That was the first time I'd ever went there. That is a beautiful gym.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes, beautiful campus in a great area. Yeah. But you say you started playing baseball because your dad threw you a waffle. Now, I'm really good at waffle ball. Now, baseball, not so much. Yeah. But what is it about the game of baseball that got your dad to get you to play?
I know growing up, dude has a really good arm. So he grew up playing football, a lot of baseball, and he when I was younger, I kind of played all the sports, but baseball really was the one that stuck with me. And he was with it along the whole ride.
Right. So are you from Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay, so coming out here is nothing to you, right? The heat?
It's actually hotter here right now than Vegas, but I'm assuming in a couple weeks it's going to be about the same. Yes.
So what brought you from Vegas to Palm Springs to play for the Power?
Yeah, my assistant coach, Coach Rush, has a connection with Starkey, and he got me in contact, and I figured out 5 years before opening day that I was coming here.
Oh, wow. So you had it on your what they call a vision board that you were going to come out here and play.
Yeah.
So what's the competition level like? UNLV, just like St. Mary's, really high level. You guys are in a great conference, the Mountain West, which my antelopes. So we're rivals. I just realized that. We're rivals now. But what is the competition like here, coming and playing in the league here?
It's pretty good. It's about the same kind of level of pitching. Obviously a little more velo back at school, but the hitters are good here. It's pretty similar. I'm having a lot of fun. It's a lot of good reps.
Now, I'm old. My A starts with a 5. When you say velo, does that mean velocity?
Yes.
Okay. Because my daughter does that all the time. She'll abbreviate stuff. Yeah. I'm like, wait, what does that mean? Just type it out. And she gets upset. And you probably do this with your parents. My daughter will text me. I call her back, and she gets upset because she said, "Dad, why didn't you just text me?" So yeah, I can tell by the laugh that's what you're thinking. Yeah. But how's it been for you with the Power out here? How's the season going for you?
It's been good. It's been successful. I've been kind of just getting good at bats, sticking to my approach. It's been paying off pretty well. Got some good RBIs, got a good average, and I'm hoping to just keep it going, keep it rolling.
There you go. And, Brett, one thing I wanted to ask you, this is interesting because it's almost like an all-star team. Because when you guys come to town, you don't have a lot of time together. So you guys have to gel and create some kind of bond soon. Is that something going – because I'm sure playing at a high level, you played on a lot of all-star teams, so you're used to doing that. But is that something, an experience that you have where you have to learn how to connect with a teammate pretty quickly?
Yeah. I feel like that's typically how summer ball goes. That's one thing that I really like about it is just getting to know guys from all over the country, different schools that, you normally wouldn't connect with. The past 2 summers, so I was in Portland last summer playing for the Portland Pickles. That was real fun. And then after my freshman year, I played in Boulder, and there's guys from those teams that I still stay in contact with to this day. So it's just real cool to meet guys from all over and I don't know, just make those connections. It's fun.
And you said that you played baseball all your life. Is that cool how baseball has taken you to Boulder, it's taking you up to Washington? Mm-hmm. Is that cool how the journey, now you're in Palm Springs, that journey where you're going to all these places and playing Division I baseball?
100%, yeah. Even like in season, like being able to travel all over the country, like it's just an incredible opportunity. And like, I mean, not a lot of people could still be playing a game at 21 years old. Like, so I'm very fortunate to have those opportunities. That's
pretty cool. How about you, Caden? The game just taking you all. Is this your first time playing summer ball, or have you played before?
No, the last 2 years I was in Derby, Kansas.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fun out there. It's kind of crazy. Like, I wouldn't really know what I'd be doing without baseball. And it's just, like, it's been my whole life up to this point. And seeing all these, like, cool places, playing baseball, it's a lot of fun. Seeing new parts of the world.
And you have one more year at UNLV. What are your goals for next season at UNLV? I know we're talking power, but what are your goals here? Are you because in baseball you have to commit 3 years and then you can go pro, right?
Yes.
So are you looking into that? Is that something down the way that you're hoping to do?
I mean, that's like my ultimate dream because as a redshirt junior, I'll have 2 more years left. But I mean, if I put good numbers up, I mean that's the ultimate goal, to get drafted, play pro ball. But I'll have an extra chance the year after that if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And how about you? Brett?
Yeah, I'm in the same situation. I redshirted my freshman year, so if next year like the draft doesn't work out, I have that extra year to take a 5th year and keep playing. But I mean, I'm just trying to play the game as long as I can. Same for me. Like baseball's been my whole life, but I mean, my coach at St. Mary's, he always says like, he hopes every single one of his players plays 20 years in the big leagues, but I think that's one of the reasons why I think academics is important for me too, because he's like you guys should take your academics seriously because at some point you're going to have to hang up the jersey. And but, I mean, right now I'm just enjoying the ride.
Right, and you said you're fairly young, and when you talk about having that extra year, and you said it was tough because you had to play at a high level to get a D1 scholarship and go play baseball, and you said being your redshirt year was tough for you. Is that one of those situations it's just difficult not being out there and contributing, or what did you take away from that, seeing your teammates and them playing?
Yeah, that was the hardest part. Like in the spring, I wasn't able to obviously play and practice much with the team, and that was tough because those were all my buddies out there. I was seeing them succeed, super happy for them and everything. But, I mean, it's an experience that I'm grateful for because I was able to I needed it to develop and get stronger. But it was a tough spring, just like watching everybody play when like that's what I love to do as well. But something that I know that I needed.
I could imagine. And Kaden, I'm sure you had the same thing when you were a redshirt. Just a story about me, like in high school, all 4 years, I guess you could say I redshirted because I sat there and watched all my friends play. and so I just watched them. But what was it like for you having that experience of not being out there when you want to get out there and you want to win and contribute?
I know it's pretty tough watching the games because the games that you do lose, you're like, dang, like I wish I could have been out there to like maybe help the team. And it's just like when they win, it's like I want to be out there celebrating with them. But it was redshirt was a blessing. Like I got to get so much stronger, get in the weight room, learn a lot about the game, a lot of just practice that I wouldn't have gotten if I was playing every day.
I can imagine. And then, Stephen, I'll ask you, you are so dialed in when it comes to sports. You were here last week, you're here this week, and you're excited about it. So you just love being baseball and being a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, again, you watched all your friends play. I watched all mine. I wasn't worth anything. So, I mean, this is the way I can, do baseball or really any sports. Ideally, I can just keep compounding this kind of stuff into a full-time career. But, like, it's just, it's so much fun. It's so much fun to either just wake up and know that, like, all I'm going to do today is baseball. Or, wake up and, oh, yeah, I have to, like, work remotely, but, yeah, that remote work is watching baseball all day or football or whatever it is. Like, whoever I'm working for, whatever I'm doing, like, that's what's been so much fun about it. It's, like, my brother's in the Escondido police working with them. He just got tased the other day.
Oh, wow.
So no matter how bad my day is at work, it's not going to be that bad.
Yeah,
Like,
I could imagine.
My worst day at work is, maybe it's a little hot outside. Maybe the game didn't go well, and maybe, the coach on the other team didn't get us a lineup until 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
In all reality, I don't have that bad of a life right now.
Right, and you're the epitome. So when I was working for the LA Clippers when they had their team in Ontario, you realize, when you're growing up, you think you have to be the stud, but you can make a life in sports doing other things, trainer, broadcaster, so many things that you can do. So you're the epitome and a great example of just sticking with it. Like for me, for instance, when you're terrible in your high school football team and basketball team, you get on radio. So that's what I do. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. I want to touch bases on the season and just ask you guys some more things about how everything is going. But let's take a quick commercial break. And I can't believe we blew through that first 15-minute segment. Let's do this. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Make sure you check us out on Fox 11 TV Palm Springs Friday morning, and we'll be right back with the Palm Springs Power. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure if you get up on Friday mornings to check us out on Fox 11 TV Palm Springs. We have the Palm Springs Power in studio. Once again, we have Brett, Caden, and we have my guy Stephen Buxton in studio. Now, either one of you gentlemen can answer this, but this is both of your first season with the Power, correct?
Yep.
Okay. How's the experience been? I know you have the host family and things you can do. And that's one thing that I bring this up every time I have Power in. How cool is that you have a family that will embrace you and let you stay in their house free of charge? I mean, how cool is that?
Well, actually, Caden and I, we got set up at the Desert Princess. We're in a condo this summer. So the last 2 summers, I had a host family experience, which was great. But this summer, Starkey set us up with a condo on the Desert Princess. So it's pretty sweet.
So you guys are by yourself?
Yeah, it's just us.
Yeah.
I know your teammates have got to be like, how did that happen?
They got to be a little jealous.
Yeah,
I could imagine.
We're right on the first green. I don't know. It's a pretty good setup. I think there's a couple other guys like Owen. He set up at like a host family's house, but he's got his whole own guest house, pool, and everything. So
wow.
There's some pretty good setups out here for sure.
Now, Brett, I know you're a golf guy. So if you can't play, if you got to get to a game, I know you're sitting out there just watching people out there on the greens, right?
Yeah, just watching people on that first hole. I mean, at this time of the year, I don't think they make any tee times past 12 o'clock. So,
right.
So in the morning, I'll see people out there, but hopefully we can play. We got 2 off days coming up, so maybe we'll get out there soon.
Well, the most important thing, did you bring your clubs with you?
Yep. Yeah, we both got our clubs. So, yeah, we're good.
Because you go up to Palm Springs, you got to bring your clubs. You can't use someone else's clubs, right?
No. I mean, sometimes you can get rentals at whatever course you're at, but I got a set of clubs I'm excited to use. Right.
Because I know, like, when you go to, like, you guys ever go to Top Golf? I can't use those clubs there. Nah. Is it just me? And
I have to bring a glove because last time I went, like, my hands get a little slippery. And, like, first swing that I took with the driver, it flew out of my hands.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, wow. Just as long, I was there one time. We had a group event, and one of the young ladies had an adult beverage, and she almost, thank God that net's there. Yeah. I'll just say that much. Thank God that net is there because that would have been a problem.
Oh, yeah.
But tell me a little bit about the season. How's everything, guys, going? The season has started. I know you guys got off to a great start, and either one of you guys can let me know, how's the season going for you?
It's been great. I mean, I love, like, summer ball because you get 20 new best friends every year. And it's just, we've had a lot of success. We're hitting the ball really well. We're pitching well. We're fielding pretty well. It's just been a lot of fun. A lot of good baseball that we've played, and we got a lot more.
And what position do you play, Caden? I didn't ask it.
Third baseman.
Third base. Okay, sweet. And when you're out there and you guys are and you're not familiar with your teammates, you have to put a lot of trust in them. Playing third is an important position.
Yeah, but I mean, they come from good schools, so I trust them. I know they put the work in. I know they're gonna be good. Yes.
And how about you, Brett?
Yeah, so I'm a catcher, so I think the biggest thing for me is like forming the relationship with the pitchers because most of these guys I've never caught before, and usually like that pitcher-catcher relationship is a big thing, like getting to know their pitches and everything. Like like this is my first week out here, so most games, whoever they bring into the game, that's my first time meeting him. So I'll
wow.
introduce myself on the mound, figure out what pitches he's throwing, and then it's been going pretty well so far. We've been pitching well the past week. So.
And one question I've always wanted to ask a catcher: are the hand signals universal, or do you have different hand signals for every pitcher? Because if someone's on second, they're trying to look at your signals.
Yeah, I mean, like those second base signs, especially like in season, like guys are looking in there. But this summer so far, we haven't really changed anything up. I don't like summer ball. I don't think people really are looking in there to steal signs. But now with college baseball, they have what's called PitchCom. It's basically like my Apple Watch right here.
Oh.
And the coach like will send the pitch in from the dugout from like a remote control, and it'll pop up on my wrist. It'll say fastball, and the pitcher gets the same thing. So now for college and professional baseball, that kind of eliminates any like sign stealing. But yeah, out here we're just doing the hand signals. It's just like typically 1 fastball, 2 would be an off speed, 3 would be another off speed. So just kind of whatever the pitcher has.
Now I learned something. That's good. Technology is there. You can get it. So funny story. It's a long time ago. This is in the 80s. I was at my middle school, and I was thinking about getting on the baseball team. True story. I was going to be a catcher, right? And I didn't have the shin guards on, right? So the guy threw the ball, didn't have great control. It hit me in my shin. Until this day, I have a deformity in my leg because of that, because I took the ball right to my leg. Have you ever had that? Because that made me say, hey, this isn't for me. I said, no, I'm okay. And I gave up on baseball that day. I'm sure you've had stories like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of part of the catcher position. Like, I've just come to like deal with it. I mean, I usually get at least 1 ringer every game, whether it's off the arm, foul ball off the mask. Sometimes it'll sneak in and hit your leg, but I mean, that's just kind of part of it at this point. Like, you got to learn to love it.
Yes. You know, one thing another thing I always wanted to ask a catcher. So they say the outfielder's got the ball, he's getting it, he's about to hum it to you, and you see that player coming from third. Are you getting set and ready to? I mean, because that's a bang play when it's you against that runner. And I know they've kind of changed the rules a little bit, but is that something you're bracing and you see that runner coming? How do you stay focused to catch the ball and you see that runner coming?
Well, yeah, at least nowadays it's not like it was old school when you could just absolutely lay out the catcher. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about that, but I'm usually just focusing on the ball, and I'm ready to, you know, hit him hard with my glove. But I mean, I'm usually not expecting any collision, but I mean, I'm bracing for it for sure. Like those bang plays could get physical.
Yeah, and when you're on third, Caden, do you think to yourself, I'm glad I'm not there, let me throw him there?
Oh yeah. I know. I short hopped you the other day, and you just straight up just bodied it. I was like, ooh, yeah, I could never do that.
Yeah. I mean, I know they have the chest guards and all that, but yeah, I mean, that's something you have to have the dedication to get in there. Yeah. But you know, one thing I always like to ask players in baseball, what made you guys fall in love with the game?
I think for me, I mean, baseball is just such a unique game where we were talking about this the other day. Like any team could beat like anyone on any given day. I think that's just what's really beautiful about the game. And then it's also where I've made like all my best friends. Like baseball just brought me to meet so many cool people, and like that's what, like looking back on it in 20 years, what I'll remember is not like what hit I had that day. It's gonna be like the boys I've met, like Caden, and all my buddies at school and everything.
Yeah. And how about you, Caden?
Yeah, it's just all the friendships that you create. I mean, baseball's everything. When I was young, it's just from hitting wiffle balls in the backyard to now I'm 21 and playing summer ball in Palm Springs. It's just crazy. And it's just friendships at the end of the day. You meet so many new people. You get 20-plus new best friends every season.
Yeah.
So.
And Brett's from Southern California, but Caden, you have the Southern California look, man. So if you want to stay, man, you've got to look like you belong here. So stay. We always like to keep people here in California. You know, what about you, Stephen? What is it about sports? I mean, you played high school, and now you're broadcasting, you're transitioning to that side, and now you're seeing the business side of it. What is it about sports that you love?
I mean, I'm not like a very patient guy, so I'm not going to sit down and read a book or anything, unless it's basically about like football or baseball or something like that. I mean, with baseball specifically, it doesn't hurt that, like, my mom forced me to play it when I was, like, 8, or my dad, I can't remember. One of them like forced me to play it, my brother and I, and just eventually started watching it more. It didn't hurt that I grew up a Dodgers fan, and I started watching right when Guggenheim took over in probably 2013, 2014, and they just went on the run of just winning divisions that they've been on since. So that doesn't necessarily hurt, but like it was more like, at bare minimum, it just gave me something to do every single day. It was always something entertaining. I always thought it was like more entertaining or cooler to watch than like whether it was like cartoons or whatever TV show, or, you know, you'll catch me watching like 15 innings of baseball before you find me watching the news. It's just always what I've gravitated to.
And that's awesome. And tonight, I love sports. I love seeing the Palm Springs Power. And like I said, you know, we do multiple all-star games. We do football. We do basketball. But one of the things I love is baseball. I mean, it's America's pastime. I absolutely love it. And, you know, I go a little bit further back. One of the first memories I have with the Dodgers was Gibson going around and doing that. And I love that when he hit that home run to get us that World Series. Sorry, Brett. I mean, I know you're probably a Padres fan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. But tonight you guys got the Bucks, and that's going to be a tough one. The Bucks always come here, and they always give you guys a good game. So it'll be tonight, 7 o'clock at the Palm Springs Stadium, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucks really, there's three teams that go under like the Inland Valley: Bucks, Legends, and Pirates. They kind of all just work under this Inland Valley Baseball Association. And really, the Legends and Bucks have given the Power the most trouble the Pirates and Bucks have given the Power the most trouble over the last year, or the last couple years. And it's really just, they consistently come out, and they're well-coached teams. They're always teams that have at least one or two really good arms that are going to keep them in it. You know, that's half of it. Just at some point, all summer ball teams get to a point where, all right, we just need to string together innings. We need to find an arm, you know, just find someone whose arm works today.
Right.
Because in every level of baseball, you just can't find enough arms. And it never seems to be really the issue with Inland Valley specifically. They've always got, at bare minimum, one or two that are going to keep them in it until the middle innings.
Right. Right. Very true. Very true. And, you know, Brett, true story. I remember being in San Diego. I'm a Dodgers fan, but I was in a gas lamp, and I saw your stadium, and I was like, oh, my. That's the best stadium in MLB. You know, I hate to admit it, but the A's, that stadium's going to be nice, too.
They're playing in Vegas right now with, I think they're playing the Brewers, and every game it's like 6+ home runs hit. It's crazy.
Yes. I love the A's. That's because I just call it a gift. I've left a lot of money in Las Vegas. Let's just say that. But I can't wait until they finish that stadium. But thank you, gentlemen, so much for coming in. We appreciate you guys spending the summer with us out here in the Valley. We wish you guys nothing but success.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So that was the Palm Springs Power in studio. And like I said, tonight on June 13th, they have the Inland Valley Bucks. That game will be at Palm Springs Stadium. That's when we did the Coachella Valley Baseball All-Star Classic. If you get a chance to go out there, please do go check them out. Support these young men on their journey. Go to PalmSpringsPowerBaseball.com and see them all season long. They're playing from the months of May through July for summer ball. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. Once again, thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. We certainly appreciate it. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app, and check us out on Fox 11 TV Palm Springs. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com. InjuryFirmLaw.com. Let me make sure I get that right. That's a sponsor. Got to make sure we got to look out for them. InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And as always, you can catch us Friday mornings on Fox 11 TV. And we have a gentleman in studio. We go back a couple of years now. So like I always say, he can come into the house, go right to the refrigerator, get the red Kool-Aid. He that's what kind of friends we are, you know. But Coach, by all means, introduce yourself to the Fox Sports Radio audience.
Yeah, what's up, Coach B? Yeah, we do go back, man. Yeah, my name is Coach Aaron Gasu. Call me Coach AG from GOAT.
Yes, like ODB say, we go back like babies and pacifiers.
Hey,
like
come on
you
now.
said.
Come on now.
Oh, dirt dog, no liar, you know?
Yeah, come
and then
on.
we have another young man. I know that stuff from the 80s and the 90s. That's a long time ago. So, but go ahead and introduce yourself to the Fox Sports Radio audience.
My name is Kevin Torres, class of 29, Desert Christian Academy.
Not only did he coach, it's funny because I met Kevin 2 years ago at the Coachella showcase. I mean, he had this little young man voice. Now he got the deep baritone.
Yeah.
I mean, this man is grown up.
Yeah.
He comes in tapping me on the head. Hey, Coach B, like, come on now, man, don't do me like that.
Man, I've seen it too because I've been around since Big Kev, since he was a young kid and he came in 10, 11 years old to play the Coachella Valley Little Arabs. And that was the first time I saw Kev, and I was like, man, this guy, he going to be something. And then look what he's grown into now. I can't wait to see what the future holds for this young man.
It was different from me. My coaches saw me out there playing. They said, that kid ain't going to be something. Because my skills those are my skills.
Nah.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But tell me a little bit something, Coach. You got a lot of exciting things going on. How was the showcase, first and foremost? I got there a little bit late. I was heartbroken because Marshall had left.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about year 3 in the showcase.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. It was great. The Valley really turned up, showed up and showed out, which is what we're looking for. This showcase is an opportunity for the kids in the community, in our community in the Coachella Valley, to really get the exposure that's needed. To stop leaving and stay here. Like, this is an opportunity to build that. And so it was great, man. We had some good winners come out, had some kids travel. And to come check it out, Brandon, one of our kids from Desert Christian, he took the middle school belt. And then one of our kids that we work with from the High Desert up at Apple Valley, he came down and he won the high school division. So it was good competition, man. It was great. So we'll see what's next for the Valley.
And, I'll ask you this because you're originally from Texas. But since you've been here, have you seen the growth? Because like they said, the slang out here is people have to come past the windmills. But there's been some tremendous growth out here, and the talent's getting so much better in the Valley.
That's part of the reason I got into the football and the coaching in the desert to begin with. Coming from Texas and seeing Texas football and moving into the Coachella Valley, I saw it and I said, man, we gotta fix a few things here. And so we jumped in, feet first, and hit the pavement, started with the youth level and help develop that, and then move on to what we do now. And now we just develop linemen, and man, the growth within the Coachella Valley is crazy. Like, you've seen all the programs are winning, all the programs are going, half the programs here are going to the playoffs. Like, we're making some noise. And now we're getting kids, college committable offers, inside the Coachella Valley. And so we're seeing big things in the future.
Right, and not only they're getting offers, they're getting D1 offers. I mean, legit D1 offers to go play some good football.
Yeah,
but what is it about Kev that you like? Because you've molded him. I've seen you work with him at 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you saw him down at the youth level.
I was his head coach, at the youth level. And then, kind of guided him into the right direction to help find him success. And so the first thing is physical. You can't teach size. You can't teach, when a kid is 6'4", 260. You can't teach those things. And so at a young age, right? And so he has the size. He passes the eye test for most Division I, FCS style schools, automatic. So then from there, we just work on his development, his fundamentals. And once those things are locked in, then Kevin's going to be placed in the right situation to find success however that is. And whatever that means to him. If he wants to go to a big-time school, small school, whatever the school he wants to go, we want to make sure he has the option to pick, that he has options.
Absolutely. One thing I've got to ask you about your game, Kevin, and this is important. When you talk about sports, not football, you said you just got into golf.
Yeah.
And he's basketball.
Yeah, and you're doing basketball. Yeah, 6'4", I can see that. So what was it about? I mean, growing up out here in the Valley, there's golf courses everywhere. What got you into golf?
So coming to DCA, it really introduced me to a lot of new things, and golf was one of them. And one time I got invited to go out. First time was at Indio Lights, and I went with some of my friends, and I really enjoyed it. And I've been into it. I've been going to courses, on my free time. I be going to golf. Yes, sir.
He's getting serious about it. So whenever I do a foursome, this is what I always tell my buddies. I said, you three keep score. you guys make sure because you're serious about this. And then when the last person of the three gets the ball in the hole, then I just pick my ball up and we'll go to the next hole. That's how trash I am. I don't even try to play. I don't even try to keep up. But tell me a little bit about that with DCA. How's that been for you? You guys had a great season this year. As a freshman, you were contributing as soon as you got there. What was that experience like for you over at DCA?
Yes, sir. It was a good experience, especially at a young age. I was able to compete, keep up with all these older kids and stuff. And then we've been moving really good. We just got back from San Diego competing out there. We went against Modern Day Catholic and Santa Fe Christian. So we've been for sure doing our stuff. We've been going the right direction. So it's been really good.
And do you think doing things, because you competed at a high level at the showcase, and you've won many times, and Coach Gasu or Asu, let me make sure I got it right. And you won many times, and when you went out there and started performing, do you think to yourself, Coach got me ready for this, he got me prepared for this, and this is what I knew that I should be doing?
Yeah, for sure. He showed me and told me how it's gonna be. He was like, the competition level's for sure different. And then he for sure molded me and prepared for me and took me out there to compete. And I was able to keep up, so I for sure thank him tons for that.
Was there a time being a freshman that you went out there? I'm sure you had to be nervous when you first went out there during the season. But was there a point in the season when you were like, I belong here? I belong here.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like our first couple games, because at a young age, especially out here in the Valley, obviously there wasn't much noise, much competition. And then my 14th U year, I went and played for the Trojans, and we went against the OC Buckeyes, OG Ducks, all those big-time youth teams. And I was like, yeah, this is what it's going to be like from now on. And going into high school for sure prepared me, and I see the difference of level of competition and like stuff that I know. So it's for sure, I feel like it set me apart for sure.
Right, and that was the SoCal Trojans, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's one of those things. Do you think now, because you're staying home and you're here, because we know that there's things sometimes people will go off and they need to. They'll go off and play at a bigger level. Why is it so important for you to stay in the Valley and stay here as opposed to going to one of those schools in the IE or Orange County?
Yeah, for sure. I want to show that it's possible. I want to show that it's possible to come out like to the Valley and show that we can make noise, and there is ballers out here, and we can all do whatever we put our mind to, and as long as we work for it, put our name out there, talk to the right people, know the right people, have a good circle, it's going to happen for sure.
I tell you, Coach, you've got a great circle here with these young men. I mean, so articulate. I mean, if I was 6'4" and I had his size and I was a stud like that, you couldn't tell me nothing. Yeah. I'd be like Kanye, you can't tell me nothing. Yeah. But tell me a little bit about this young man and his growth, man. He's a special player.
No, definitely. I mean, I've seen him grow, physically, mentally, spiritually, the whole concept. I've seen him grow. And, like, taking him out and seeing the competition level and throwing him into the Wolves. Like, this dude was in the 8th grade, and I took him to SoFi Stadium, and he competed against top kids from all over. And he handled business. He won some reps. He lost some reps. But part of losing reps is understanding what you did wrong and how do we go back to the gym and how do we craft and how do we fix that mistake. And like Kevin has always been one of those kids that like when he makes a mistake, he's like, Coach, why did that happen? I'm like, well, this is what you did. And like, we look at film, we look at videos and you're like, oh, this is what we're doing. And like, this is how we fix it. And so we conversate on how to fix mistakes and how to craft and how to build. And then when he comes time to compete again, he's like, man, I didn't do that wrong again. Exactly. Now we do this and now we do this. And it's just, adding a bit by bit, block by block, and as we've done that, this is our result now. And I almost said final, but it's not our final result. We got a lot of work to do still, but we're almost there. We're almost where we need to be. And we'll cross that finish line. The moment I see that he's going to college, then I know that we did the right thing.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good to teach them, develop them, and mold them, and get involved with them. You have such a passion to help these kids. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but I want to dig into some more things of what you've got coming up. Yeah. You got some exciting things coming up. Of course. So let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure, if you're in the Palm Springs area, check us out on Fox 11 Palm Springs. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure you check us out Friday mornings on Fox 11 TV Palm Springs. Now, Coach, one thing that I will say, I think I wanted to change my middle name legally to Las Vegas. So when you guys went out there, I was a little heartbroken that I didn't get the invite. But talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, that's big. You remember you were here last time before the showcase, and you said you were going to take a group of your players out there to Vegas to compete. And this is not just some rinky-dink camp. I mean, the head coach of UNLV was there. I mean, it was his thing. So talk to me a little bit about that.
No, definitely. Yeah, Dan Mullen was there, and there was 30, 40 different colleges there on the campus at the training facility, evaluating and watching kids. And we were blessed enough to take a group of 10 kids from the Coachella Valley to that camp, and then traveled from there and went directly to the San Diego State mega camp and to compete there in front of coaches as well. So that was a great experience, man. And Kevin was one of those kids that went, and he definitely got a lot of love. And we walked away from those camps, and some kids got offers, committable, real deal college Division I offers. And even at the end of that, we even have one of our kids get a Pac-12, Fresno State offer. And he actually, at the moment, he's at Fresno right now doing his official visit. So that's why he couldn't be here with us today. But, yeah, man, we're making some noise, and we're starting a new pipeline in the Coachella Valley called Recruit Coachella Valley. There's a good friend of mine, Mike, and he runs Recruit Vegas, and he was part of the reason that camp happened behind the scenes. And so what he does is he helps put kids in the right situation, and we've conversated, and we both have the same goal and the same passion in this movement of putting kids in a position, right? And so they had just given 146 Division I offers in the last 2-3 months to their program alone. And they're all just based off of connections and friends and putting them in situations to find that. And so we partnered together, and we've made his pipeline from Recruit Vegas to Recruit Coachella Valley. And we're going to bring all of those same college coaches down here. And so this upcoming season through Friday Night Lights, expect to see college coaches out here in the Valley now. It was supposed to be a secret, but Coach B, you got it out of me already. It was supposed to be look, there happens to be, a UNLV coach. Oh, there's a Weber State coach here. It was supposed to be a surprise to the Valley, but since you said it, here we are. We will have a couple college coaches in the Valley on Friday nights looking out for our kids.
So that's breaking news right here on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And that's one of the things about us. We want to own prep sports. So we love that. We love the fact that you came and broke that news here. And it's got to be one of those blessings. I had to go back to Texas, growing up in Texas, and football is sacred in Texas. So is that
Religion.
one of those things? Yes, absolutely. And is that one of those things that when you came here, you was like, I'm going to bring a little bit of Texas here?
Oh, man. This is the thing. I get a lot of hate for this for some of the people back home and even local, man. I used to say this, but California football compared to Texas football, people are going to say this, and whatever they want to say. The culture of football is untouchable in Texas. Now, California does produce more, high-level athletes, and they do have better, football in general. But as far as the culture is concerned, nobody is touching Texas football culture. Man, I grew up watching stores close to come to your football games. You can't go get gas. You don't have gas, you got to go to the next town because all of our gas stations closed down because they're going to go to the game. You can't go get no Chili's. They closed down. They're going to go watch the game. Seeing that culture is so different, so we had to bring that culture here. And and part of that is bringing colleges down here to see our kids. We have kids here. We have so many athletes, talented athletes here. So I just took it upon myself to bring those people here and get our kids out of here, get our kids to college, get it paid for.
Yes, and I will agree with you because in Texas, I remember it's not uncommon to have a $20, $30 million high school football stadium in Texas. Yeah. So that's the way they do. I think, out here we just have distractions. We have things like Disneyland and stuff like that. So we got the beaches and stuff.
There's nothing to do in Texas.
Yes,
but
that's what I'm saying.
There's everything to do here in California. We're talking about golf. You can go play golf at a resort. You can go hit a surf club. You don't got that in Texas. You can go play football, and that's it.
Now, this is what I've got to ask you. This is an important thing, and you got to think about it. None of said anybody at home. So are we Texas Tech? Are we Baylor? Are we Texas? Are we Houston?
Hey.
Or TCU? Oh, he's a hook 'em horn.
Hey, man, I grew up 30 minutes from the campus. I was on campus a lot, growing up. That's the school. I'm always, and I'm also, man, this is the thing, Coach B. I love college football. I support all college football teams because I know kids personally on multiple different teams, right? But if we're gonna go somewhere, I got mad love for Texas and the BYU Cougars, man.
There you go. Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got
My
you.
nephew over there running the football over there right now, he's going crazy, and I got some other kids, that are going to be headed to that program in the next year or two. And so just, but I also love all college football, but those two will always hold a little spot in my heart.
Got you. That's why I always tell people I don't live in California. I live in Southern California. That's why I love the University of Southern California. That's just me.
Come on now.
That's just me. So, but that's a good thing. But tell me a little bit, young man. What are you looking forward to do going into your sophomore year? And again, we have in studio with Coach Gasu and Kevin Torres from DCA. What are you looking for going to? Now you have a year of experience behind you. You know what to do. On every single play, they're holding you. So little things like that. What are you looking to do next year?
Yeah, well, next year I'm looking to produce, provide, and just perfect those little things that I messed up last year. Because last year I was still young. I kind of didn't know what was going on. I just went out there. But this ain't Pop Warner. This isn't youth football no more. So this next year I'm for sure here to make a statement and get my name out there even more. So, yeah.
And I'll ask you this. When you're a freshman and you're out there playing against a senior and you're getting the best of them, are you thinking to yourself, man, I am pretty good?
No, for sure. Yeah, it shows me the level I'm at and where I can be and what I have done. Like, it really proves to me that I've really built something and made a name for myself.
And when Coach said he took you in 8th grade and you went to SoFi and you're matching up with kids from all over. So this is something you can tell people. It's not like you're the big fish in a small pond out here in the valley. You went to UNLV, you went to that camp, you went to SoFi, you went to that. You're playing in that as well. Do you think, is it one of those things that you feel you have a chip on your shoulder where people are just saying, oh, he's just in the valley? Where you can say, no, I have a resume where I've gone out and I've competed against some of the best talent.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Because a lot of this Valley talent, I mean, it's amazing talent, right? There's a lot of people that I know who, I know can go D1, but they don't know the certain people or they don't do the right things. But for sure out there, it's a different level. It's a different level of competition. And for sure, it'll either make you or break you. You can either go out there, get whooped, and just never go back, stay in the Valley, or you can go out there, win some reps, lose some, get better, go back and perform. So it's all upon to you on how you take things in, for sure.
And one thing that Coach said that's so great, and this is why I sat on the bench, because I wasn't coachable. But when Coach says this about you, that let's say you lose a battle, and you go and you ask him, what gave you that insight at such a young age to say, Coach, I want to ask you questions. How do I get better? Where did you get that from?
So I for sure get that from my dad, because both of us, we hate losing in anything. And we're so competitive, and, obviously I want to get better at anything I'm doing. And anything I do, especially football, I go 100% because obviously I would love to get college paid for. So I want to know everything I've did bad at. Like, I don't care if I lose. I take it as a learning lesson. So it just pushes me to want to be better and want to be the best.
There you go. How tall is your dad?
My dad, he's 6'4". Yes.
Okay, 6'4". So it must be nice, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Must be nice. Yeah. You started off with good genetics. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, my
Yes,
dad
sir.
was 5'9". I'm 5'9". Thanks, Dad. But talk to me a little, Coach Gasu. And this is one thing we talked about off air. With kids, and one thing that Kevin said is so important, is he just wants to go to college for free. He didn't say, I want to go, with kids say, I got to go D1, I got to go this. He just wants to go to school for free. And it's a whole new process now with that NIL, with the transfer portal. Because you're not getting as many bounce backs like you used to going to JC. They're just switching colleges now. Because back in my day, you had to be a bounce back to go to another school. Now you can just switch schools all day.
Yeah.
And talk to me a little bit about that process where kids have to know if you're getting an NAIA offer, you're getting a 3 offer, D2, just take it and then get there and develop.
That's one of the things that I preach with the kids is 7% of all high school athletes will play college football at any level. 7. 1% of that goes to the NFL. So the percentage and the dream of playing in the NFL is obtainable, but there's a lot of stuff that's in play to get there, correct? So when it comes to goals, we'll break this down. When it comes to goals, you always want to set goals like a big goal and then goals in between that are obtainable, right? And so the first obtainable goal is to play on varsity football, right? And after that, what's our next obtainable goal? Is to go to college before the NFL. You can't just go straight to the NFL. There's a lot of steps between there. And so our first obtainable goal is being a part of that 7%. How do I get into college? What do I need to do? How do I prepare myself to do that? And so the first part is understanding transcripts, understanding what courses do I need to take to make myself eligible to play at the college level. Second, what size am I physically? Do I fit the mold of a certain program? Like, no offense to kids that are not genetics, like
me.
Okay, I don't want to say it, Coach B. I didn't want to say it, Coach B. Kids that are 6 foot, 5'9", they're probably, no offense, not going to get recruited to an Alabama, to a Georgia, to a Texas. They have a certain size. They have a frame that they go by that you have to meet their eye test. But they do fit the mold, however, for a smaller school. And so whatever opportunity you get to be a part of that 7%, to have an option to have your college paid for, you need to take it. That's about putting your pride to the side and being a part of how hard is it to play college football. 7% of anyone who straps on the helmet will play. 7%. That's a very small percentage, So any level, whether it's NAIA, D3, 2, or smaller D1 or big-time D1, whatever opportunity opens up for you, you need to take that. You need to play there, go develop, go grow, and you never know. Like with the way the transfer portal is, you have an opportunity to get pulled to a bigger school, to the next level over. But it's about getting into the door first. That's the first and foremost, most important step, is getting into there. And before you do that, you must be developed and you must be prepared.
Absolutely. And it's my second cousin, Keyshawn Nixon, who plays now for the Packers. He went JUCO, then he went to South Carolina, and then he went to the Raiders, and now he's with the Packers. And that's just, like you said, it's one of those things you have to go, because the people who make it are the people who work. Sometimes they just have the better work ethic. Like I knew a girl who grew up with Troy Percival. He was a pitcher for the Angels, and she said he was the third best player on the team, but he's the one who made it to the major leagues because he had that dedication. It's all about your heart, your passion, and just continuing to do it. So,
100%.
Yeah.
Facts.
So I look forward to seeing this young man next year as he continues to grow. His voice is probably going to be a little bit deeper. He'll be a little bit taller next time I see him, Yeah. But, you could just see the confidence in him, because when I first met him 2 years ago, he was, I think, 8th grade then.
Yeah.
You could see he was just finding his way, and now you could see he's got it. So
yeah. No, he knows. That's part of putting him in the cycle. That's part of taking him to these camps and showing him that you belong, bro. Like, you are just as good as those other kids. You just happen to live where it's a little bit less accessible.
Right.
Like, he has the same talent level, physical frame as, kids in the IE or kids in Orange County, but he lives in the desert. It's a little farther away. And he made a lot of noise. He probably doesn't want to say it, but we were out there at the camps, and there's Sac State coaches and Boise State coach, not Boise State, Idaho State, and Weber State coaches. They all came to him and talked to him, and they knew this dude by a first name basis. They already knew. There's Torres, right? There's Torres over there, and they come over and shake his hand and come talk to him, and they're like, "Look, legally we can't do anything with you, but like, just know." You know what I mean? Like,
they see you.
They know he's on the radar. And I look forward to his upcoming seasons. When he gets to that recruiting age, like, people know who he is, and people are going to come into the Valley to see him. But not only him, there's a handful of kids in the Valley that a lot of these coaches are about to find. We're a diamond in the rough out here.
There you go. And here's my one ask, Kevin. There was a kid that was in the 9th grade. I started covering him when I was on radio in Riverside. I had him in studio in 9th grade, 10th grade. We gave him the Player of the Year 11th grade for San Bernardino County, and in the 12th grade. And then he went to college. He went to ASU. Then he went to LSU. Then he got drafted. His name is Jaden Daniels. He doesn't return my calls anymore. So please, man, when you get to that level, don't forget me. That's my only ask, because Jaden doesn't return my calls anymore. So it is what it is, man. But thank you, gentlemen, so much for
course,
coming
of
in.
course.
And then you said it was the 29th. Let's plug that. The
Yeah,
29th.
of course. So on the 29th, we have Mike, my close buddy of mine, coming down, and we're gonna unveil the Recruit Coachella Valley program, and basically it's going to be a free event, and we're just going to give parents and athletes. It's free to everybody. It'll be at Category 5 in Indio. And we're just going to talk about recruiting. What are the steps to take to get recruited? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And what do we need to do collectively as a valley, but also as an individual to find success and to get the college looks that we're trying so hard to get? And how do we get education paid for while playing football? And that's kind of what we're going to do. And we're going to unveil that to the valley for free on the 29th.
We're looking forward to it. So if you get a chance, Coach Gasu, he's always promoting these kids, always doing the best for these kids. So if you get a chance, make sure you go out there January 29th at Category 5. I'll come out. If anybody can get me to come out, it's Coach Gasu, because when I first came out to the showcase, he was the one who hit me up. And if you see him, he's a big, imposing, intimidating man. So when he tells me to do something, I say, okay, Coach, no problem. I'll be there. So we'll definitely be out there on the 29th to check it out. But thank you, gentlemen, both for coming in. We're a little over the clock, but we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. And I look forward to seeing you, Kevin, as you go along. So his dad started off at 6'4", man. Why couldn't my dad be 6'4", man? It is what it is, man. But let's go ahead and take this. Let's get out of here. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure if you're up Friday mornings, check us out on Fox 11 TV.
This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report on Fox Sports Radio.